Hey everyone, it's Yvonne Ashton here, and today is National Cappuccino Day. Cheers! I have David Dawson here, and we are going to go over some cappuccino inspired roses and flowers. David, what do you have to share with us today?
Well, believe it or not, National Cappuccino Day, we thought we'd have some fun. So I'm bringing some roses that are sort of, what can we say, coffee inspired. And we're going to start off with the rose that started it all. It's the original Cappuccino Rose, which is right here. We
I love
started
it.
bringing these from Holland about 15 years ago. And as you can see, they're sort of like a milky coffee, but they have this pink trim on them. So these ones are from Ecuador. They're a lot longer stem than the ones from Holland, but they continue to be very popular. This is the one and only Cappuccino Rose. Behind that, though, I have our latest introduction from Ecuador. This is called Mocha. And believe it or
Mocha.
not, it's the same rose, but through a growing technique, what they do is they put brown paper bags, little brown paper bags, and they cover them, and it eliminates the red. So you get this very even sort of what I call milky chocolate, really. With it's slightly pink, maybe like a pink milkshake almost. And they call this mocha. This is a fabulous rose. Great, I love it. It has great definition of the petal structure. It's on the smaller side, but it speaks volumes in detail and just really a beautiful rose. This is mocha.
That is gorgeous. You said
Yeah,
they cover it with a paper bag?
yeah. They cover the cappuccino rose. This is a
Okay.
cappuccino rose too, but by manipulating the color spectrum, which they do with a brown paper bag on each rose, it eliminates the red around the petals and gives you a much more, I think, attractive flower. And this is called mocha.
Very cool.
And these roses come from Rosas del Corazon in Machachi, Ecuador. And they are uh, one of only two growers of cappuccino and mocha in Ecuador. So, and this is why we have them here. Beautiful. Very nice. Now, something new we have, because we always like to have new stuff.
Always love the new stuff, David.
Just having, now this is going to be available next year, next summer, but we'll have bits and pieces between now and then. But look at this, beautiful. This is called Nude. It's from our friends at Agrinag. Really beautiful, sort of pink with a touch of not quite peach, but a dash of brownie peach. Very nice. I think it'll be very popular next year. It's a sort of a little bit what we call muddy, but beautiful. And as it opens, it gets more and more sort of peachy brown. Beautiful rose. This is called Nude. And we can expect to see it next year, midsummer, from Agrinag. Nude.
Beautiful.
So moving right along, keeping with our coffee theme, we have here all-time classic. A lot of our customers will be familiar with. This is Cafe Latte. You may be spotting a trend here, which is these roses are not so much coffee, perhaps a little more milk chocolate. But the Dutch breeders are so in like what's hot right now. Well, brown roses, beige roses. They just come up with these names. I'm not sure why, but that's what we have. I mean, this would have been much better off as sort of pink milkshake or something. But that's just me. But I'm a big believer in names.
Yes.
Over here, we're going to go keeping with the coffee theme because it's National Cappuccino Day. I have here what I'm calling a flat white. This is
I like
actually
it.
this is actually Claire de Lune. Now, some of you are familiar perhaps with cotton expression. They look similar, but the difference here is cotton expression never opens. This part never releases. This rose called Clair de Lune, it releases. And I think you can see in this bloom, it's almost open to the corona. And a couple more days, it opens, as you can see, like this. Pure white, frothy, very informal centers, almost like a peony. But it opens, it reflexes all the way to the corona, giving it this beautiful look. So that's my contribution to flat white. And here's another one. These roses here from Rosa Prima, one of our partners. This is a David Austin. This is Eugenie. And I might call this a flat white that's been stirred a little bit. But really beautiful garden rose. Has pure white, but it has just a dash, un soupçon of creamy pink in the middle. So that's a very nice rose. Eugenie, David Austin rose, grown by Rosa Prima.
That's beautiful.
Over here, we have Espresso. Espresso. It's not quite as black as one might think from the name, but it's an interesting rose, interesting color, especially for this time of year. It's very new. We expect to see a lot more next year. Personally, this reminds me more of what I would call Alpenglowen or glowing embers, like the hydrangea, but a very nice rose. Unique color. It's not orange. It's sort of a brick red brown. Very interesting. Espresso is the name.
That's a fun color.
It's
and
a fun
great
color.
for fall.
That's also grown by Rosa Prima. Very nice. Here I have one of my favorites. This is a rose called Degas. It's a caramel color. It's very similar to toffee, but quite different. These only grow 40 centimeters, 50 centimeters, but they have a very large garden rose type head. And reminiscent of the way Degas, the painter, manipulated color. There's just little hints of violet here and there. And it's a very dynamic rose, very in keeping with garden roses. This is Degas. You could call it a light coffee, as one would have on a boulevard in Paris. Degas. And closing out the roses, of a really beautiful one. A lot of people know this. This is Moab. So if you don't want to go quite as dirty and brown as the others, this is a fabulous sort of corally, browny peach rose, very large head. You can see next to my hand, quite large. Opens, always opens. Beautiful color. And the way the petals reflex, it really bounces the color. It's a dynamic rose. This is Rosa Prima's Moab.
Beautiful.
So if you don't want to get quite down and dirty with that.
Very beautiful. So, David,
Yes.
what do you have to say about the availability for some of these roses? Because I know some of these are super hot colors right now.
So, of course, in the fall, they are super hot. It doesn't whether you're chasing Cafe Del Mar, toffee, all of these kind of colors in the fall are, they have a strong demand and worldwide demand. They're pulling in from Russia. Holland wants them and we want them too. So, with a good order, a good 2 or 3 weeks ahead, you can order them. Otherwise, at this time of the year, somewhat limited. I would say there's a great supply of Moab. There's a good supply of Mocha. Cafe Latte, there's also quite a good supply. Espresso is new, so that's been very limited this year. But what I would say with all these roses, perhaps with the exception of, with the exception of the Espresso, I think these are great roses for next year's weddings because they're not that sort of sugar candy sweet pinks that we're used to. They're a little more sophisticated. Tones are more complex, and I think really tremendous for the wedding season, whether it's your, what I'm calling my flat whites, you know, the Eugenie, the Claire de Lune, fabulous mocha, obviously the cappuccino, and I think the nude. I think nude next year is going to be a stellar rose. It's a really sophisticated pink with just a dust of bronze on it. So I think good. But for this time of year, when we're all chasing these sort of colors in these tones, I would also always consider, for instance, carnations. This is Lege Marrone, a sort of a light, milky coffee color, hints of pink, brown, very nice carnation. Lege Marrone, and of course there's Crayola and terracotta to consider as well. And I think any time of year, carnations, please buy them 10 days ahead and let them open all the way. And then you can use them. You could slot them in with garden roses in a pave design. I swear, no one will know. And it's like, you know, not hamburger helper, but flower helper. You know, this is a business and we need to make money. And accessorizing or filling in with something like a carnation can make your budget go a lot further.
And I love that color. Those are so pretty.
Very pretty. As well as that, of course, tinted tulips have always been popular. This is a very nice double. It's called Double Soft Caramel. It is tinted, but it is a way to get a lot of these sort of coffee tones at this time of year. And no shortage of supply on tulips at this moment. This is Tulip Double Soft Caramel.
I love it.
And, going over here. Perhaps espresso isn't available, but we have this wonderful chocolate ranunculus. This is also grown by Rosa Prima. Really nice. Look at that color saturation. Rich, rusty red, brick red, and the way the light bounces off the petals, you get a very dynamic flower accent for your design work. This is Ranunculus Chocolate.
Beautiful.
So there it is. That's a roundup of roses for National Cappuccino Day. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Please remember, contact your sales associate for more information on these, how to order and availability. Some are limited, but you never know, because these new roses come in flushes as they build up the plants for year-round production.
Awesome, David. Thank you so much for this information. And everyone, thank you for watching. Join us next time. Cheers. Happy National Cappuccino Day.
Happy National Cappuccino Day. Oh, I got something to share, by the way.
Oh, sure.
Yes, we were just in Italy, myself and my cousin Pamela. We were in Italy last year in March. And if you are in Italy, please never drink a cappuccino after 11 in the morning. Otherwise, you'll get a lot of criticism. Cheers.
Cheers, David. Thank you for that travel tip. Have a good day, everyone.